let's just say that there's a situation where you have a man and a woman, okay? We're going to use the fact that the woman had a child previous to that relationship. Everybody's following me? And in that previous relationship, in her previous relationship, that was actually the stepfather of that child. So it's not the biological dad. The biological dad is 2 relationships ago.
Okay.
And they were married, though, according to you, remember?
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, no, not the first.
No, the parent.
The step parent, yes.
No, the parent. Wait.
I thought.
Okay, so a woman has a kid with a man.
Mm-hmm.
He's not in the picture. That woman and the kid get into another relationship. She gets married.
Gotcha. Okay.
The kid is only 2 years old. And now
That's his daddy.
from 2 to 6, right? So from 2 to 6, that kid believes that that's his father.
Oh, he doesn't know otherwise?
No, he doesn't know otherwise. Well, he does, but he doesn't. You know, like they haven't fully like told them, but you know, whatever. Let's just say he believes that that's his father. Yes.
Okay.
They get divorced. Okay. So now the child is still 6. So now fast forward 2 years later, the child is now 8. And now that mom is now in a relationship with another person. But the step parent from the previous relationship still wants to be active in the child's life going forward. What are your thoughts?
But now she's in another relationship.
A completely new relationship.
Now she's in a new relationship.
Wait, a third one?
Yeah.
Yes. Like the step parent, they got divorced.
Mm-hmm.
And now 2 years later, she's in a new relationship.
Oh, okay.
This
I got
is
you.
not really that complicated of a situation because I mean,
it doesn't
I've
seem
known
crazy.
situations like this, to be honest. That kid has had the stepfather in his life since 2 years old, growing up to believe, even if that child knows the truth about him being the father or not, that's his dad. To him, this is the man who raised me. So that's my father.
Raised?
Huh? Didn't he raise him? 2 to 6, he's been in his life.
But that's 4 years ain't raising no kid.
Okay,
What
come
is
up in
That's
in
just
very
there.
essential.
Is it babysitting?
Damn near, hell yeah. Raise, you need at least, I would say, 8 years to raise somebody. Raise. Like,
Okay, well
all I
then
did was get your habits in 4 years.
then there's this. His father, his biological father, isn't in his life, correct?
It's correct.
Like gone.
Gone out the picture.
Let's just say
Right.
dead.
I don't want to say that. He's gone.
Extinct.
Okay, but now she's not married in a new relationship. She's just in another relationship. So what is she going to do? Keep having different men continue to raise this little kid in different stages of their life? There's this one man that wants to continue raising this child.
But the man and the woman are not together.
Well,
not
no,
only are they
I
not
understand
together,
that.
not only are they
hate each
not
other.
together, they're not even like, they're not. Why would you co-parent with somebody who ain't the real parent?
Well,
Right.
well, let her cook then.
Because
Yeah.
that child needs a daddy.
But you're going to get a new one.
No. And that's just not cohesive for a child to keep naming someone daddy every couple of years, depending on who his mother is dating. If this is who he grew up with for the past 4 years, okay, he knows that this is my dad.
No, he believes.
He believes this is like, that doesn't matter. He believes.
It does matter.
He believes that this is my dad. And this is also someone who wants to be his dad. His, her, I don't know what the child is. Let him do that.
No. Okay.
But you're leaving out the part that they broke up and the mother.
It's
Hates
not.
him?
He's
It doesn't have to hate
tell the
him.
full story.
No, it's not that.
You're missing pieces?
No, it's not missing pieces. You're missing comprehension.
No.
They're not in alignment. They're not together. They're not speaking. I'm not saying that he did something. There was no foul
No,
play.
but that's okay. Even if she doesn't hate him, she is not on good terms with him. She
Yeah,
has
they're
a
not on good
personal issue with him.
They are not on good terms. They do not get along. They do not work well with each other, which is why they are divorced. Like, you gotta understand, we're not talking about, hey, I was with you and we broke up. They got a divorce.
No, I understand.
So understand that there has to be. Now, I'm not saying there's any life, because we like to add shit. Not life-threatening things that are happening in this relationship.
There was no abuse, nothing.
There's
bad.
no abuse. Yeah, I don't like this person. This person is not good for me. for whatever reason it is. So now
What's
you're
good for your baby?
what? It's
What's good for your child?
well, I'm gonna tell you something.
Was he a good dad?
Here's what I would say, right? 4 years, first of all, you're not raising shit, right? I have a daughter right now. She will be 4.
So you really haven't raised her? Is that
Not
what you're
yet.
saying?
No, like, because she's only really
So she can go off and call somebody else daddy?
Well, can I speak?
Ooh.
No, you
Jesus
could.
Christ.
Go ahead. Go ahead.
If I allow, if I, well,
Maybe she'll forget you.
well, this is what happened with this. This is exactly what
I don't
we
know
talk
that nigga.
about. This is exactly what we talk about when we talk about the Russell Wilson future situation, right? So, and the worst part is that his actual biological father is still present. So this little boy is calling 2 people dad is nuts to me.
Is he?
Yes,
For sure.
for sure.
You seen it.
It was all over the news. Like,
Future be there.
what do you mean? Future be there. It was all over. Ciara was
You
the
heard
one.
what? You heard what Ciara be saying?
Ciara
I
said.
hear what Ciara be saying.
Anyways, listen. We're not
Future
getting
do
off
not
on
be there.
we're not getting off on tangents. The
You're
fact,
using it as an example.
yeah, but you're continuing. So
We just trying to understand. That's all.
so understand that 4 years is not raising anything, especially when a child wasn't able to really speak or really walk until the child was about 2 or 3. Right? Child can't really communicate. So now, if I really say my daughter just now started communicating at 3 and I leave out her life at 4 and somebody comes into her life. Now, I'm not saying because you added different men multiple times every year. No, if it's one more man, let's say, or one more woman comes into play and now they're there between the ages of 6 and 25.
Hey.
You know what I mean? Like, let's just say, because if they're in that age, if they're in that category where they're dating a person and they're seriously dating and they actually have a lasting relationship, now whoever is the extra parent, right, at that point in time has to submit their, I guess, role to somebody who's not even in the picture because of 4 years.
Well, I'm not adding things like unnecessarily. You said that the new relationship was just a relationship. It's not like she's married, so we don't know if that'll last. These are just things that we don't know.
But the one,
Who
other one
knows?
didn't last though.
True, but who's to say that she's stopping here at guy number 3?
But what I'm trying to say is this person is saying that they want to do it, right? Hypothetically, this person is saying that they want to be a parent to somebody who is not really their child. You understand,
Yeah.
right? They're
No, I
not
got
their
that
child.
part.
1.
Mhm.
2, they're separated. 3, not only are they separated, they still want to proactively attempt to be in that child's life, despite the fact that that child is not their child and that child is with the actual biological mother or father who will ultimately be with somebody else.
I think she gave her answer. She's set on that, right? Like,
Yeah,
Well, I'm not trying to
I feel
convince her
like-
otherwise.
Okay.
I feel like from 2 to 4, like you've known this baby
Oh,
from
6.
now like 2 to 6.
No,
Sorry,
yeah,
2 to 6. This is a baby that
Yeah.
you've known and now a toddler. I'm pretty sure he has very strong feelings about
Emotional
the
connection.
emotional connection about this child. He feels like that's his child.
But that
Even though we know technically
This is
it
where
is not his child.
Can I ask-
this is where I would agree with TK that part is called mental illness.
Can I ask one piece of clarification? Did he ever adopt the child?
No.
Okay.
Which is another
Wait, question.
Mhm.
Follow up. If he did not adopt the child, did he ever inquire with the mother about it?
No. There was no attempt to adopt this child at all throughout the relationship. But now that they've separated, he still wants to be active, which to me was what I said to Alan. If that was the case, and you were truly wanted to be this child's father, you would have adopted this child at some point in time, or at least inquired, like you said. But because that was never there,
So
I truly don't believe that like all people go to that step of adopting a
I
child.
agree.
Like once that
I
child
agree.
is in your household and you're there helping to raise that child, no one's thinking like, well, let me adopt you and make you my official child. You're like already my child.
And I,
sorry, he didn't think they were going to break up.
that was exactly that was the point that I was
so
going to make.
he didn't think he'd have to adopt him. He probably thought he'd be there for the rest of the child's life.
And there was no need to.
that sounds like being married without a certificate, if
No,
y'all
no,
ask me.
No, it doesn't.
Like it does, because you're essentially we're saying we believe that this is never going to end, so I'm not going to take the legal precaution to make it official.
So I don't know if you know anybody that was adopted by a step parent, but I do. And there's actually a bit of a process because the actual biological parent
Has to
Has to
give
be
up their
involved.
rights.
yeah, they have to
Yeah.
give up their rights. And I think regardless if they trifling or not and they're in that kid's life, asking a parent to give up their rights is kind of a big deal.
No, I know a couple people who've done it. Like,
I mean, so they just sorry, but
I know a couple people that have done it.
right,
Like,
they sorry. But what I'm saying is that like to even bring that up to your wife or to the kid or whatever, one, the kid probably don't even know nothing about that. You know what I mean? And two, bringing it up to your wife, she's gonna have to go and open up a whole can of worms with the other dude she used to be with his dad, with the kid's dad, you know. So
But it don't matter. So here's my thing. When you look at life in full, you hear more situations than not of a kid who's raised by a parent that is not theirs and ultimately decides that they still need or feel the need to seek out the parent that is. And
that's what?
Huh?
I'm sorry, say that again. The parent that is what?
that is their actual parent.
Oh, the real parent. Okay.
Yeah.
Biological.
And what ends up happening is sometimes, not all the time, I can only talk about the times that I've heard, that kid that ultimately sees and finally meets the parents, depending on the parent, you know, if they're like obviously in like drugs and stuff like that, it's a little bit different. But assuming that that parent is not, they end up creating a good relationship and you start to see them try to side and find out and learn who that parent is, which then ultimately the step parent sometimes becomes the back burner parent.
Because you're getting the other side of the story.
Well, exactly. So I say all that to say, as a step parent or a parent who's attempting to still be a step parent when you're no longer with the actual biological parent, that makes zero sense to me. Because that kid is going to, at some point in time, that kid is going to find their father or their mother. They're going to find them. They're going to search for them. And unfortunately, they probably even might deal with some type of trauma from not having that person.
Yeah, but that takes nothing away from your relationship with that kid, though.
Until it does. And it happens often.
I don't think so, because
you didn't
even
build
if
it for
that's
4 years.
even if
what
that's
did you
step-
build? Like, yo, if you are a parent here and you tell me what has been built in the first 4 or 6 years of their life, you please drop it in the comments chat, because
no,
ain't
even
shit
if
built
the
in 6 years.
stepfather- even if the stepfather continued to be in that child's life, there's a possibility that he would wonder about his real dad regardless,
Yeah.
whether he was there or not. He would get curious.
Sure.
Now, if he wasn't to have the stepfather in his life, I can see him growing up with the fatherless kind of trauma and wondering,
Nobody wanted
well-
me.
like, oh, remember there was Max and then there was Jerry, and oh, I remember when Jeff was
Daquan.
around, like,
And now your mom's a hoe.
and then it was like,
But at least
yo,
you know the
Max
truth
was
now.
around for a good portion of my life. Mom, whatever happened to Max? Like, he left me. Like, you guys divorced, but he left me too. Like, that sucks. And imagine your mom telling you at an older age, like, oh, well, he did want to be around, but I didn't want him. I didn't want him around.
You're
Well, that's the
forcefully
mother now,
creating
right?
abandonment issues.
But
by not
here's
doing
the
that.
thing.
Yeah.
You're forcefully creating no matter what, right? Which I feel like is selfish as a man or woman to try to be inside a kid's life when when a biological parent is moving on. You know why? Because the only thing that you can do is either catastrophize or let be what it will be, right? So it's either I'm going to sit here and think that all the relationships that she gets in or he gets in is going to fail, which is going to make that kid experience a new step parent over and over again. Or I'm going to sit here and believe that, okay, they're actually going to find somebody and they're going to have a good relationship and it's going to be long lasting. Either which way, I'm creating a burden by still making myself the primary figure for that child or the secondary figure for that child while the life is going on for them.
Yeah, but it's who has the best interest of the child?
I don't think
in
either
this scenario.
The only one that has the best interest, that can have the best interest, is the mom and God. Like that's
No, because
because I'm trying.
because there's a man that's not the child's father trying to step up. He has the best interest of that child.
No, he does not. Because I'm gonna tell
So
you
what you think he want to be there for? To get back in her good graces?
what I'm trying to say is this: he has the best interest for himself and his feelings. Because if I had the best interest for this child, right, and let's just say the mom moves on and she gets another good guy, but I want to still impose my energy in that household. When that kid is now trying to bond with another, what will be his actual home, it will always be a distraction of me. Because I'm not, and mind you, I'm not even the fucking parent. That's the crazy part. Like, I'm not even the parent. So now I have this kid that's like, okay, he can't gel. And you know, kids pick a side. They pick a
he gonna pick the side of his
this would have
stepdaddy.
been the
Exactly.
same situation
No,
had
his
the
stepdaddy number one.
No, but
Exactly.
hold on. This would have been the same situation had the biological father been in the picture anyway. There would have been the real father and the new guy. Like, there would always be two male energies
But one's
within
the
the house.
biological dad, so it doesn't even matter. That's not even.
First of all,
it's
and
not
let's
even the
just
same.
like stop writing him off like, oh, he's a stepfather and they're no longer together. That's also her ex-husband. They were married.
It's 4 years.
Like,
It's 4 fucking years. Now, if we
that
change-
wasn't just like a
if
past
we-
relationship.
if
That was
we-
her husband.
I don't
You just
care.
said it was a big deal. They got married.
No, I'm saying I showed it was very revealing
Need a
that they got
candy break.
married and he didn't adopt the child, but still wants to be the child's dad. That's what I was really wanted to get at.
what you wanted to. Okay.
Yeah, I never got a chance
it's
to.
only been 4 years. Maybe he didn't get to that.
Whatever.
Maybe they got
What I'm
divorced
saying
before
is,
that could happen.
If we sit here and say, listen, a person has been a step parent for 10 years out of an 18-year child's life, I can understand that. Because you're there for more than 50%. If you come in at 2 and you're there till 12, I can understand that. Right? If you come in at 4 and you're there till 14, I can understand that. That kid is only 4 years from being an adult legally. If I come in at 2 and I leave in at 6, nigga, if I come in at 2 and I leave in at 8, I have more time without him than I will with him.
Yeah, but these are still important periods in a child's life.
That's what
They're
I'm
all
thinking.
important. There's not a period that's not.
I mean,
But
I
not
feel like
according
this
to you
is
with the 2
not.
to 6.
This is not a
You
crazy.
couldn't tell me shit after about
situation.
13.
But
This is not a crazy situation.
Period.
This is very much a realistic situation. I know plenty of people that have dads that are literally their stepdads. And yes, their biological dads still be in their life. That's one. But 2, their stepdads raised them.
Mhm.
Like, oh, I've known my stepdad since I was 1, 2, 3 years old. And he and my mom have been together, blah, blah, blah. Even if they're not even together, that's still their dad.
Kind of like me with my stepmama.
yeah, but that's not the same fucking situation.
It is.
No, it's not.
How?
Because you're talking about a stepmom trying to be a stepdad trying to be a stepdad when he already got a new stepdad. That's what we're talking about.
She's a hoe.
Yeah,
She's
but
trying to
she
steer
could be.
child
Who's a hoe?
in the mother. If the mother's breaking up
That's
with
Why
what
y'all
he said.
always gotta do that?
That's what he said.
now,
I ain't saying
now,
She-
Rome, we've been on the same page the whole time. Why she gotta be a hoe?
Well, because
I really don't like that y'all do. Y'all find every little nook and cranny, any little
'Cause it ain't his fault.
information. y'all use any little information to call a woman a hoe. That like what? That was so unnecessary.
can I say something?
but
Relationships don't work out. Why she gotta be a hoe?
Well, because he did leave out the part where she does have a new man right now.
no, I didn't leave it out.
you said that.
I said it. She
So
just
she's-
doesn't understand it.
She's not accounting for it.
She
She
did.
didn't understand it.
What? I
That's
know
what I'm
I
saying.
did.
That's why she's saying
I
this now.
said,
She doesn't-
mentioned
I
it,
said
but
her
she doesn't
new. I said
understand
she's
it.
not married to her new person. She's just in a relationship with a new person. So that doesn't matter. We don't know how long
That sounds
that's
crazy.
gonna. How we don't know how long that's gonna last. They could be dating for a year or 2, and then boom,
So,
she's
and then-
gonna be in a next relationship within the next.
So then he's done seen 3 men in his life. That's why I said she could be a
Or
hoe.
2.
I'm sorry that she's a hoe. Or she's not a hoe. Your mom's not a hoe.
But if
I'm
that's
saying, but
but
what
that, if
about,
that's just the trajectory of her dating life,
what?
huh?
so
Trajectory?
Trajectory.
so every 4 years she has a new man. If that's a trajectory, What about if the stepfather that's trying to step up and be a good man for the child? What if he's saying to him, the child, hey, listen, I'm not your father. What if he's telling them the truth and trying to raise them and say, you will respect that other man in the house that your mom lives with? Because if he's already stepping up being a good man, taking care of a child, why is he going to be a bad man all of a sudden and be like, no, I'm your real dad?
Well, that's what I'm saying. There's a big difference between being a role model or a mentor for a kid or a young adult versus being a dad. So when we use the word dad, you're both. You're both a mentor, you're a disciplinary, you're going to...
Disciplinarian is what he meant.
Disciplinarian.
I got you.
Y'all just be missing me with all of these words.
I think we need an episode. Actually, this would be a really good idea. We need an episode of all the mess ups. I would say that she probably has commitment issues because she can't settle down or she can't like get it right with the right guy. Does that make her a hoe? No. And what you laughing at?
Because
niggas are
you
fucking
just said
nuts.
If she can't settle down,
I mean, look,
settle down.
A hoe's gonna be a hoe.
Hoes go all around the town fucking people.
Every 4 years.
That's not what she's doing. She's getting in relationships that she's not committing to with marriage.
Yep.
Settling down that way. But she's getting in relationships.
What if she marries each one every 4 years?
We're on a tangent. So
I just think that like it's important to understand that like as a parent that is not an actual parent, you need to stay out of you need to stay out of a kid's life when you're getting X'd out. I don't think that it is your space to try to be involved. Now, obviously, if there's some type of abuse or something that's going on, right? Yeah, that's different. But when if the mom or the dad is being a hoe and they're going from relationship to relationship, you can't save that child's trauma. I don't give a fuck if you're a good stepdaddy or not, right? So move out the way and be there to support when that kid is old enough and, you know, to actually seek someone to speak to.
Now you gotta wait until he's old enough to spin the block.
Talk to me in 12 years.
Yeah, like when you know how to when your frontal lobe is developed, we gonna talk about it. Like
that's more than 18.
I just think that it's sad because
it's way more.
It's niggas out here not wanting to be in kids' lives and
their own kids,
because he already done lost the biological dad. So it's just sad to know that niggas really not for.
It's sad to here's my honest to God opinion. Any man who's still trying to be a stepdad after only 4 years of being a dad, right? And trying to still be a stepdad years later has nothing to do with the kid. It's everything to do with being able to be present alongside that woman, be nosy with that woman's life.
I you if that's what it was.
I don't know what it was. I've never been that man. But in my opinion,
I thought this was your friend.
No, it's not.
Oh, I thought it was a real.
But he's not. But
this whole time I thought this was your homeboy.
Even my friends would never be the stepdad trying to still be a stepdad, even when they're not with the mom. That's not gonna happen. My friend would be like, "Yo, you're a stepdad. That means you're an ex. I mean, you're an ex-dad. You're an ex-stepdad. That means you gotta go."
What time period would be okay with you? Since 4 years is
10 years.
Oh, 10?
Yeah, it has to be 10 years for me.
Would 8 work? Just curious.
Only if it was 10 to 18.
What about 7?
10 to 18. 10.
I think 7 would do it.
What if it's 11? No. What if if they graduate high school at 16?
Mm-hmm.
They graduate high school at 16.
Down south.
Not a big deal. Right.
Not out here, nigga.
Well, yeah, in the Caribbean. Imagine if Rico said, "Nah, it's only been 7 years. Gotta go."
Nigga, get your ass out of here.
Maybe if it was one more year.
Well, yeah, I would be here.
Okay.
I really feel like
I didn't finish. He graduates at 16. Smart kid, obviously. Let's say he skipped the 2nd and 3rd grade. Graduates at 16, and you've only been around 7 years. So that's like 9. Does 9 work?
being that he's graduated,
he finna be gone.
Yeah, the thing is that he's graduating early, which I would actually say, no matter how smart you are, doesn't mean you're ready for the world. So I would try to.
Wait, y'all don't hold y'all kids behind if they smart. I'm sorry. Like, ready for the world or not, that means if you ain't taught them what they need to know by 15, 16, you've been slouchy as a parent.
Yeah, but
as fuck.
It's still different. So, and that person's still gonna need somebody to speak to. So, and again, when you hit that age, when you're at 15, 16, 17, 18,
19,
20.
once I go to 18 only because
21.
18 you're an adult.
21.
21.
But I wouldn't. That's different. When I'm talking about that first 10 years, bro, 6 to 10, I'm out. I'm telling you right now, I'm out. Good riddance.
Let him leave.
Good riddance.
Let him leave.
Like, you can call me, but I'm not picking you up for school.
But anyway, I shout out to TK Kirkland because I think that he was also given that information and that piece of advice as an older man who has been through the bullshit already. And I know sometimes it's kind of hard for people to take a message from a person who was doing the bullshit that they're now advocating against. But even though he looks younger, like I think TK is like in his 60s.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like 65.
Right. Nigga's getting his check.
Hello?
And he can go to the McDonald's and get a 35-cent coffee. I'm just saying. He really can't go hang out with my mama. He look like he like light-skinned women, don't he? I'm gonna hook them up. And my mama is old school.
Mm-hmm.
My mama a little ratchet though. I seen her beat somebody up before. But anyway, that's not even important. I do think his position, because I know you said he needs to tighten up, but I just think that his position is coming from like a place of
Hindsight.
I
No,
done
he
took
backed
my
up.
looks. I don't know what he said on the other thing.
No, I know what the fuck he said. I listened to it and I was like,
He
coward.
said, "Can I finish?"
Oh, well, maybe it's not important. I don't know. Shout out to Yumi's Boutique. That's why I got this vintage leather hat here.